This is Snake. You're listening to the Kojima Productions Report with Ryan Payton, so pay attention.
This is the Kojima Productions Report, your official source of all Metal Gear and Kojima Productions titles, and this is your one and only inside look into the development of MGS4, the behind-the-scenes look. And I'm here with Kris Zimmerman. I'm Ryan Payton, and we're going to be talking a little bit about our final sessions this time. This is our 7th session here in the recording studio, and well, the plan is to make this the final session. I don't know if that's going to...
I've got a vacation coming up, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, the plan is to make this the final one. And we got all the lines in the game. We're going to be recording every single one that has been recorded. And, of course, there might be some pickups later on, so it might be a dreaded Session 8. The plan right now.
That shouldn't be too much, though.
No.
We've been pretty specific in our needs so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take all this stuff back to Japan next week and then listen to the whole game from start to finish. And if there's any pickups, I'll let you know.
And how many hours is that going to take you?
That's a good question, and I think a lot of people will probably want to know that too. But just to give you an idea of how much recording we've done, 7 sessions. I've come back. I've come to LA from Japan 7 times to record just in this year. So it's pretty much every month. And this last session is 3 weeks. I've been here. So yeah, can you guess how many days we've been recording?
Well, if we've done 7 sessions, most of them have been about 10 days.
Yeah.
Some of them 5.
Some of them 5. Some of them 3. Some of them.
I did not do a count on this at all, but it's got to be close to 60.
Yeah, you're pretty close. 55 days of recording.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of days to record a game.
It's a lot of days. I think that's one of the longest I've ever been on.
Is not the longest?
As a matter of fact, it could be. It could be, yeah.
Who are we up against? Well, who's our rival?
Probably an earlier SOCOM session.
Yeah, they record
Yeah, but
a
that
lot
was
of lines.
not. I think that was only around 50.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Well,
but yes, this was a long process, and this is the longest duration because we started our Metal Gear auditions for Metal Gear 4 back in November of 2006.
Yes, we did.
And then we had our first
with Steve and Tony and the gang.
Yeah, with all the fake names.
Yeah. So yeah, I would get these audition files back from LA, and we didn't want the people coming in to audition for the part to just talk about what part they auditioned. So the title of the game was different. All the characters had fake names.
We used code names. Yep.
So I would get like auditions for
Steve.
Yeah, be like Steve, and that.
Hi, I'm Steve.
Whatever. Exactly. Where's Tony? And Tony was riding. And
it was pretty funny. And then when we had to do the playback, when the actors who got the roles, we would play them their audition tape back so that they would remember what they did in their audition. We had to go, now, who was
Jan?
Liquid? Who was so-and-so? And
Exactly.
that kind of thing. So it was pretty funny trying to figure it out.
Right. And this leads right into the new trailer that we just put out, but the Lady Monsters, which we called in the auditions, were the Beasts and Beauty and the Beast, of course.
Lady Monster A, B, C, and D.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they made their debut last week in Leipzig, Germany. And it was a new English trailer where we premiered, the 4 new boss characters.
The 4 new boss characters look fantastic, and the way they move, they're just very, very dangerous and very creepy.
Yeah.
I think the players are going to get a real kick out of that.
And very screwed up. We've always had boss characters that have had very dark pasts, but this one, especially with this whole idea of PTSD, that these beautiful women have become beasts basically because of war trauma.
Yeah, there's a section where their stories are told, and to actually imagine, there are people out there that have had stories similar to those and the things that happen to children in war and things like that.
Yeah.
They did an excellent job capturing that, and then adding on top of that the fact that they are so messed up that they've become these beasts with the human inside of them.
Right.
It's just it's really good.
Yeah, it's just like that new character that we premiered in the trailer. We didn't say who it is, but he says that war transforms us, and that really is the overall theme. I think not only for these Beauty and the Beast characters, but I think for a lot of characters in the game. And another theme that I think the Beauty and the Beast kind of represent in the game is that we are really going full circle in that we're bringing back a lot of things from MGS1 that these are called Crying Wolf or Raging Raven, and these are all, of course, the names of MGS1 bosses. So there's a lot of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of connection there.
Mm-hmm. So we're having a lot of fun, bringing back elements from all the past games, including Portable Ops and MGS2 and MGS3.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's really the fans of this game and the people that have been playing it since the beginning will have a lot of little treats throughout with, quotations or things like that
Right.
that will remind them of playing the games in the past.
And the challenge for me is to make sure that people that haven't played MGS2 4 or 5 times over are going to understand all this stuff. And so we're going to be doing a couple of things to make sure that everybody's on the same page. That they're going to know exactly what these characters represent. And I think that's the toughest job, I think, moving forward, is that there's so much fiction and so much history.
And yet it stands alone as well.
Yeah, I mean,
So
you could go into this game as your first Metal Gear and still
and it'll
have
still
a really
make
great
sense, and it'll still.
experience.
But the people that have played before or are going to play before they play this one will have extra treats.
Yeah, I think so. And there's a couple of things I just jotted down of things we could talk about because this is our final session. I thought it'd be fun to have you come in and we could chat about just how this whole recording process goes, what we're doing differently. One question I have for you actually was if you've approached MGS4 in a different way than you've approached previous titles like Portable Ops. I mean, have you developed your craft in a different way or?
I think in this particular game, there's, and I don't want to take away from any of the others because that's not my intent here, but there are some really fine scenes that we've been able to, the actors and I have just been able to, make them whole, and it's a real good acting piece. There's a lot of meat on the page for the actor to express and bring out. And I think we've done a pretty good job. And we've had some performances that literally made me cry.
Yeah,
So go ahead, Ryan. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Let's talk about that for a second. Now, my count,
Of course, I can't tell you what scenes those were because they're towards the end.
Right. Well, actually, there's some scenes I think.
Probably at the beginning.
Yeah, in the middle, too. I mean, my Kris crying count is up to, I think, 5 now.
Okay, I cried 5 times. Which, and if you know what's coming up and an actor can do that to you and the material can do that to you, it's pretty good, I think there'll be a lot of Kleenex sold.
I hope so. And I don't know what that says about me, though, because I didn't cry once. Does that mean I've just got...
You're cold-hearted, right?
Cold-hearted. I've heard that before. Quite a few times,
Sorry.
actually. But we're so emotionally attached to these characters that, I mean, I think they're great scenes. I'm not grabbing the tissue.
No. Well, if you were, then
you'd be making fun of me
I'd be making
over
fun of you
there.
instead of the other way around. I'm proud of it. I cried.
Well, we've talked about this before, but just how ADR or viewing the motion capture scenes while recording has changed the process in a way, and I think improved the actors' performances. And not only doing that, I think this time we've been sticking to the translation, of course, as we always do, but we've been very liberal in our edits. Switching things around, making sure that the scenes flow as they should in a natural English conversation.
Yeah.
Whereas before, it would have to if the Japanese if the key word is at the beginning of the sentence, it should be at the beginning of the English sentence, which isn't always natural.
Which doesn't always make sense because it's obviously a completely different language, and intent is different.
Right.
And what the American listener is used to hearing, to get a point across, might sound completely different with the Japanese intent.
Right.
Or sound awkward with the Japanese intent. But we have had one of our actresses told us the other day that she didn't have enough room for the arrows for the number of edits we did to one line.
Exactly. I mean, we have to bloody up one page because we're shifting stuff around. And this was something that moving into MGS4, I was having a lot of trouble making a decision about how are we going to approach this? Is it going to be a literal translation of the Japanese script? I mean, an exact 100% literal translation, or we're going to make this more viable or more more natural for English speakers. And I think I'm trying to approach this. I'm trying to get both, actually.
It plays well for the American audience, and yet we have not really changed any important intent or any.
No, we haven't.
Anything. It's just there might be a slightly different word that, yesterday I think was beneath control or under.
Right.
Beneath their control or under their control.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just a matter of what sounds better to the American ear.
Or even better, there was a line today that we're going to retake next time that David Hayter comes in, and he hands somebody a gun and he says,
"Good luck."
Good luck. And that was the translation. That's how it was translated. But, in that scene, it would be more natural for Snake to say, "Take this."
Here, take this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
And is that a literal translation of the Japanese? Hell no. But,
it doesn't change the intent,
No.
and it just makes it more.
Because this is quite controversial for a lot, especially for anime fans I've heard, and for some game fans, is that if it's not a literal translation, exact literal translation, they'll discredit it.
Poo-poo it a little bit.
Exactly. And I'm done with that. It's ridiculous. You turn on the TV late at night, you watch anime, and some of it sounds just completely ridiculous. And especially for me, because I know how the Japanese conversation flow goes, I know exactly what they're trying to say, and this is how it's a very literal translation. It doesn't sound natural. It sounds ridiculous.
It doesn't. Anime to me doesn't sound natural. It sounds choppy and disconnected, a little bit disconnected.
Right.
But I think some of the scenes in this, viewing the animation and working with the actors we've been working with, they're feature quality. I mean, it's just feature quality.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I can't wait for people
to
see more. And it's not. I'm not making excuses, but it's not fair when you get a trailer like, for example, the E3 trailer, and you're pulling lines from different parts of the game, and you're putting them together. Yes, almost random.
Well, yeah, not randomly, because the trailer has its own intent, but
right.
They weren't recorded for the trailer.
Exactly, and so that's sometimes frustrating for me, because some people might complain that Snake's too quiet here, or he sounds too old or not old enough or whatever. And one thing in the game, and this has been a challenge for us, is that we have to remember what part, if we're, we jump around the script, right? We go from...
It's very difficult to keep track of where we are, keep track of the storyline. The storyline on all the Metal Gear games has so many twists and turns that it's hard enough to keep track when you're reading it from beginning to end, let alone when you're jumping from level to level to level.
Exactly.
It's like, now where are we now, and what's happened so far?
As far as the timeline, how old...
who's done in who and all that stuff. It's like, I still can't remember.
Well, no, it's also that, Snake is getting older, right?
Right.
And his voice is changing. So we have to, not like a 12-year-old boy in a different sense, but we have to remember where in the timeline we're recording this.
Exactly.
Because
is it early on in the game,
right.
or is it when the effects have gotten worse?
Mm-hmm. So this is a challenge that we've taken upon ourselves. This is not a direction from Japan. But...
cool.
It does. If you do notice some different changes in Snake's voice, depending on what's seen in the trailer, that's the reason why.
Yep.
And so hopefully we'll have another English trailer to show off with even more characters that we can announce. Because I know
you have all these questions for me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Ryan, I can't answer that. I'm under a non-disclosure agreement.
Exactly. I actually gave you a list of characters we can talk about and characters we can't talk about. I think the ones we can't talk about are almost as much as the ones that we've announced. So.
It is. Yeah, I think there's only one more that have been announced than not announced.
Mm-hmm. So that leads into my questions, Kris. What's your favorite MGS4 performance that we've recorded so far? And we're almost done, actually.
Yeah, I don't have a favorite because I like so much of it. Mm-hmm. One particular funny highlight is there's a scene early on where HIDECHAN is remembering his college days or something, and everyone already knows what an otaku HIDECHAN is. I almost said octagon.
Everybody does it.
Everybody does that. But what an otaku he is, and in this particular scene, he's talking about filling somebody's cubicles up with jelly beans. Christopher Randolph had us laughing so hard
we were
when
on the
he did
verge
the
of
performance.
crying. I was fine. That was one of the only times
Brian,
I cried.
you did cry.
Yes.
I saw you cry there.
But the way he did it was so nerdy and
so perfectly nerdy. It was awesome.
It's hilarious.
He really did a great job, and that's just like one of the fun things that we've done. Another fun and interesting thing that we've done, and another thing that was challenging and yet really satisfying to do, were the beast voices. Because I guess I'm allowed to talk about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
But
we announced them.
We have 2 actors playing each beast simultaneously. So we have a female beauty, and there's how many in the game? 4 of them in the game. There's 4 female beauties, and they're from all different walks of life, all different parts of the world. And when they're in beast form, the beauty records the lines. And then we have Fred Tatasciore, who plays this amazing monsters. He overdubs them, so you get the harmonic effect of the male and female voice at the same time.
Which is like the symbolic Beauty and the Beast theme in the voiceover performance
itself, yeah. And whoever records, it's difficult enough for us to have to match the Japanese motion capture bodies. Then you have to match the Japanese rhythm. Then you have to match for the beasts. The female has to match those 2. And then Fred has to come in on top of that and match the female performance. So it's,
it's tough.
More and more layers. And especially things like laughing and crying, where there's definitely a personal rhythm involved.
Right, that's tough. Because, exactly like you said, there's a rhythm that's hard. You have to listen to it over and over and over again before you can get it. And Fred is really incredible. He really impressed me because by the time we were winding up with the Beast voiceover recording, he could hear it once, and then we said, "Okay, can you record it?" And he could get it almost perfectly. It was really unbelievable. Yeah.
And then with the help of Justin Langley, our engineer here, a little slipping and sliding with the.
He's our magician.
Yeah.
And
the technical magician.
Very impressive, and. So I guess your answer is I guess the Beast, Beauty and the Beast voiceover performances.
And I could go on and on, Ryan. There is the Liquid Ocelot thing going on, and I mean that's just a very, very strong performance. And how could I not say that Snake is one of my favorites? Last time Ryan asked me who some of my favorite characters were from.
You can't say Snake.
MGS1. He wouldn't let me say Snake, but he didn't say that today. I love working with David, and I love the give and take we have with each other with the Snake character, and it's just really a pleasure to be working with him again.
Yeah, and he's so passionate about it, which makes it even better,
And to have all the other originals, back too, or most of them, the Otacon, Meryl, Naomi, Campbell. Raiden and Vamp from another game, and
they love coming in.
They're great.
Yeah, it's like a big family reunion.
And Vamp is one of the creepiest characters I think I've ever worked with. He's just under your skin.
And let's moving on to the next question here. What was the most challenging part? We might have already touched on this, talking about the Beauty and the Beast.
I think there's a lot of challenges in Metal Gear, and I think we've touched a little bit on most of them. It's first of all, it's a scheduling nightmare.
Yes.
Between Ryan living in Japan, my work on other projects, studio availability, then you've got, however many actors, including
dozens
the incidentals.
And dozens
We've got just, I don't even know how many total, but, close to 40 at least.
Yeah.
Getting their schedules all in sync, and then the way we do it here also is we have more than one person in the room at the same time. So Keiko Ono, our coordinator, has to manage to get all that wrapped up together. And then
it's like this huge puzzle.
It's a giant puzzle. And then keeping track of where we are in the script, what's been recorded, what hasn't been recorded, what's needed. That's a challenge. And when we do these scenes, they're not always in order. Or we've done half a scene and then another actor comes in. So we have to make sure that all matches together. And it's a big project. I mean, how big is the script all in total? It's
I don't know how many thousands of pages.
8 inches fat or something like that.
I might take a picture of it and put it up. So
put it on the website. That would be great.
Yeah, that's a huge stack. It's a couple phone books thick of.
Because I've actually never seen the whole script in one stack.
No, I'll do that when I get back to Japan, but I've got our session 5, 6, and 7 script with me, so maybe I'll take a picture of that when we upload this episode today.
And another one of the today.
Yeah, this is going up today. Last
It's a
minute.
fast one. Yeah. Another one of the challenges is that for me and for the actors is we're so used to these characters at a certain age.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And because this is later in time, to make sure that, can't say that name, to make sure Naomi
Right.
sounds, older
Right,
than
9
she did
years
before.
older, right.
It's just to make sure that they all stay in sync.
Mm-hmm. Well, as for me, what the most challenging thing for me is looking. This is actually really helped when we first
Keeping track of how many times I cry.
Yes, well that's been tough, especially lately because there's been a lot of emotional scenes. But when I first came in February and March, the way that the script was prepared was it was all English, and I'd have to look on my computer screen to see what the original Japanese text was, and doing that simultaneously while listening to the performance was pretty challenging because like I said, I've kind of thrown away this obligation to make a 100% literal translation. However, I do want it to be accurate, and I do want it to honor the original script.
It has to be, yeah.
And so there are little tweaks in Mr. Kojima's and Mr. Murata's writing that they want these key words to appear, and some of these reoccurring themes that, for example, a Japanese character might appear in a lot of these lines in one scene, but in English we can't do that. And it's a very subtle thing, but I wanted to keep that, as consistent with the Japanese as much as possible. So starting from May, I had the Japanese written on the script as well, and so it's been kind of fun. I've been showing you what snake is in katakana, so when the Japanese are saying snake. I can
see how many times they say snake in a two-page layout.
But yeah, that's been the challenging part is keeping it true to the Japanese as well as keeping it true to MGS1, MGS2, MGS3, and portable ops because there's lots of references to them. There's some flashback scenes. There's lines that are taken from those previous games, and sometimes those weren't always translated accurately, and they don't always sound natural when you put it in when you throw it back into a new game. And
there is a particular line that we had to just change the order of two words to make it dramatically play better in English than it did in Japanese, which we
might that line actually might appear in our next trailer, so you can look forward for that. There's a little hint there.
Nice.
And but I think people forgive us because there's no way we could have recorded it exactly as it was in the original, and that's something you just have to forgive. And I think Mr. Kojima's have to forgive me for that too. So speaking of returning characters, we have Meryl, who's of course in Metal Gear Solid 4, voiced by Debbie Mae West, who has agreed to join the program.
Yes.
In an upcoming session. So I've only got about another week here in LA, but she's going to be coming in a few days. And
yeah, she should be here next week.
Yeah, and she'd agreed to come on the program. So if you have any questions for Debbie Mae West, for Meryl, and to send them into our comment box, I've got it on the blog site on the bottom of the page. You can see where you can connect to the mailbox and send in your questions, and I'll get those to Meryl and ask her those on the air. And just no questions about anything. Don't ask her questions she can't answer about MGS4. But let's talk about MGS1 and her experience because she loves that game, and that's part of the reason why I wanted her on the program is because she's so passionate about it.
She got a Meryl action figure when we did the first game that she still has up in her kitchen. That's like on her windowsill right by her sink, and she came to my house for an event not too long ago and brought the action figure with her. Not that she carries this doll around with her everywhere she goes, but it was pretty funny because she wanted to show some of the people that were there the old action figure, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, she's very passionate about it, and it'd be a pleasure to have her on the program. So send those questions in, and actually we might have to go because we got lunch.
We do have lunch, and I think it's ready.
And I got to get to BioShock too.
And
I've got about 30 minutes.
Ryan, hands off the video games.
What? This is I got to get my mind off of Metal Gear for a while.
BioShock looks pretty great.
It sounds great.
It looks pretty great, and it sounds great. They've got some fabulous, I don't know the name of the main character in it that's taking the player through.
Oh, Atlas?
Atlas, yeah.
Or Otacon, was it? No, it's Atlas.
No,
yeah.
not Otacon. Octagon? No.
Yeah,
Atlas has a fabulous voice. I don't know who that actor is. I think he's Australian. And I believe I heard that they did all the recording in Australia.
It sounds like it.
For that game. But he's cool. He's really neat.
Yeah, they did an excellent job. So it's a lot of fun, kind of comparing how they're approaching their game and how we're approaching our game. And
completely different.
Totally different styles, both good.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so yeah, it's cool. I got 30 minutes, Kris. We can get a little Bioshock in.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Get Bioshocked.
Let's go.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me on the program, Kris.
Thank you, Ryan,
I
and
hope
thank you, everybody.
I kind of hope this is the last time you're on here because we need to get back and we need to finish this game. But I kind of hope this isn't the last time, so we can.
I'm here.
All right, because I think we'll be back for some pickups. But again, thank you so much for 55 days of excellent
55 days
of excellent direction on Metal Gear Solid 4.
I'm tired.
All right, thanks, Kris.
Thank you. Bye-bye.